Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Became the Crimson Knight Dragon of Humanity movie. Before we start, please go support kizunaddraig for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. The world fought for decades against a completely unknown creature, and for no apparent reason, they did not know where it came from, or much less who they were, until an incident where it was possible to witness who were the cause of the world being on the brink of destruction: demons and fallen angels, those mythological beings that were believed not to exist, but they had hidden all this time to gain control of the human world. After so many attempts, humans managed to create, thanks to one of the creatures they defeated, which they named as Novas. Women were created who could face those creatures in addition to demons and fallen angels, although they not only managed to discover that, but also that some humans were born with weapons inside them, which were called sacred gear, being that women who contained these weapons managed to be as strong as the Pandoras themselves, as well as they became ones. But also some men managed to have very strong ones among them, some that managed at their maximum power to defeat by themselves the creatures called Novas. These were called the Knights, which could match and surpass to any Pandora. Among the Knights there was one who wore a crimson armor which had a celestial being sealed inside. His name was Hyoudou, Issei the Crimson Knight. The beginning. In the year 2017, humanity was attacked by beings completely unknown to them. They did not know where they came from, what it was or what they wanted, or if they did it for pleasure. The best weapons, nuclear bombs and hydrogen bombs, were completely useless against this race of beings. But even so, among them there was only one person who dedicated a large part of his life to searching for the origin of these creatures, which they called Novas. After so many sacrifices, the scientist Kuoh managed to find the origin of these unknown creatures. His origins came from the creatures of the Bible, which were demons and fallen angels. At first no one could believe anything, and they called him crazy, but when he managed to show only two of those mythological creatures to the public, everyone began to believe him. After that they began to examine both species, as well as the Novas, to create superhumans who could defeat those creatures that threatened the end of the human race. And he achieved it after so many attempts, and the answer was granted to him by a miracle. They managed to find a way to create humans who were faster, stronger and more resistant than an entire army, all thanks to a single person whom they called Lancelot. She was the spark that allowed humanity to evolve and survive these species. With this, they created women who could face off against the Novas and the mythological beings they called Pandoras. It was believed that with this, humanity could survive and overcome this obstacle, or so they believed. Even when they developed the Pandoras, it was not enough and a new blessing was given to them, or rather they managed to discover which were called sacred gear, sacred weapons with which they had more chances of being able to defeat the enemies of humanity. And among all the kinds of sacred gear, there was a small group of 13, which were capable of defeating demons, fallen angels and Novas without any problem, which were called Longinus. Women who managed to have one of these two, or sacred gear or Longinus, were automatically turned into Pandoras, but men who had one of these two were placed among the elite of the few men who could face the Novas and their creators, the demons and fallen angels. These were called Knights. There were few who managed to become Knights. These could be counted even on the fingers of the hands, but among them stood out a small group of 3 members, 2 of whom possessed Longinus, which inside them existed celestial beings capable of eliminating the enemies of humanity, and one who possessed a sacred gear, which also had a being of great power. These 3 men were what brought the hope of being able to stay alive to humans. These were called the Dragon Knights, the hope of humanity. Now, almost 50 years after the fight began, a helicopter could be seen carrying a 16-year-old boy who was meditating inside. "We are almost at West Genetics, Hyoudou, Issei," said a woman with short brown hair who was smiling and had her eyes closed. "My name is Chiffon Fairchild, the student council president and a third-year student." "I see, then it's a pleasure to meet you, senpai," said the brown-haired man looking out one of the helicopter windows. "The pleasure is mine, and you must already know all the rules of the genetics academies, right?" asked the brunette, looking at him. "That's right, the men of the academy will become limiters when a Pandora from a higher year notices one of us, and we will do the baptism when they give us one of their stigmas which were created by Kuoh," said the brown-haired boy without looking at her. "The senpai must receive respect because this is more like a military academy than a common academy, something that will not be a problem for me." "It was to be expected of you, Hyoudou, Issei, the leader of the Dragon Knights," said the brunette smiling, "and we expect a lot from you. Don't worry, you'll be able to see everything that we Knights can achieve, those who can match the Pandoras," said the brown-haired man with a slight smile. "The Pandoras of today have taken on a lot of arrogance in being the pillars of humanity, thinking that men would continue to be weak, but with what we Knights can do, a new possibility will be created for humanity to survive." "I see," said the brunette smiling, "we expect a lot from you and the rest of your team. Most of them will continue training, and the other 2 will be training them all," said the brown-haired man looking at her. "They will come, but it will take a long time, from a couple of days to months." I see, I understand, said the brunette nodding as she felt the helicopter land and the rear door open. We have arrived, Hyoudou Issei, please follow me. Very well, said the brown-haired man following the girl. It may be a little late but still welcome to the West Genetics Academy of Japan, first-year student Hyoudou Issei, said the brunette looking at him with a smile. The chestnut laughed lightly. Right now we'll go with the director of the place, Sister Margaret, said the brunette smiling. She'll give you everything you need to study here, as well as your own room. Very well, I understand, said the brown-haired man following her. The carnival is taking place right now, where all the second-year students are competing to see who are the best, said the brunette smiling after that, and when the second-year Pandoras recover, you will be introduced as the leader of the knights, does that seem okay to you? I understand and I don't see the problem, said the brown-haired man nodding. After a few seconds a small explosion above the chestnut tree breaks the roof, causing a woman to fall on top of it, slightly stunning the chestnut tree. What? Said the brown-haired man looking at the woman for a few seconds to see a familiar silhouette to which he quickly shakes his head, and that silhouette disappears to see a blonde girl 1 to 2 years older than him, and a great body which for some reason, made the brown-haired man blush slightly returning to normal after a few seconds. Hey, are you okay? Huh? The blonde said, looking into his eyes, feeling a blush. What? Bingo. The scream of a woman was heard, who was throwing herself at both of them. She was a redhead with 2 pigtails and 4 chains with spikes coming out of her back. It will be today. She will have a humiliating defeat. The redhead with pigtails shouted with a smile, the untouchable Queen Sadalizer Albrigid. He's going to hit me, said the blonde, unable to move due to the short distance. But against any knowledge of both women, Issei stopped the girl's 4 chains, as if it were nothing with his open hands, surprising them both greatly. What? Said the blonde, surprised by what the brunette did. I am possible, said the surprised redhead. Even though this is a festival, I can't just stand idly by in this situation, said the brunette, throwing the redhead who manages to stop and avoid getting hurt. Your name is Sadalizer Albrigid, right? Yes, said the blonde, returning to normal, showing seriousness. I'm sorry to interrupt your fight, said the brunette, walking away, so you can continue fighting. Very well, said the blonde, seriously, making a kind of sword appear, but completely different from any that the brunette had seen, which interested her. Walking Ganessa Roland. The untouchable queen has more confidence, said the redhead, smiling. Very well, go ahead, Sadalizer Albrigid. Both of them launched themselves, and after a single blow the blonde easily defeated the redhead, who was quickly taken to a recovery room. After that, the blonde named Sadalizer Albrigid looked slightly at the brown-haired Issei to move away from the place, being that Issei also left the place, being accompanied by Chiffon Fairchild, who took him to the direction where he appeared before the director of the academy. Yesterday I was admitted here as a motivation for the Pandoras, since the levels of many have declined, said the brown-haired man seriously. He calls me Hyoudou Issei, as you should already know. I know, and it's a pleasure to meet you, young Hyoudou, the woman said with a smile. I'm the director, Sister Margaret. It's a pleasure to meet you, said the serious brunette. Tell me, do you have any relationship with Zhengo Aoi? The woman asked, looking at him. Let's say yes, and he was the one who asked me to come specifically to this academy so that the Pandoras don't lower their level because they get overconfident, said the serious brown-haired man in a military position. I see, so it's true, the woman said, smiling. As you know, this academy trains people to confront beings called Novas and their creators, the fallen angels, as well as demons, who were believed to be false and who only existed in fictional stories, but Zhengo Aoi proved otherwise. I know that, I know everything, said the brunette seriously. I don't want to take up your time, director, and I don't want to be rude either. Calm down, I understand, said the woman, smiling. You have had a great military training since you were very young because of what you have inside you, a unique sacred gear, but well, you should already know that you as a future limiter will be chosen by some Pandora, but you must also agree for your relationship as companions to work. I know, director, said the brunette, nodding. Very well, Chiffon, take him to his new room as well as give him a little tour of the academy, said the woman looking at the brunette. Hi, director, said the brunette, Chiffon smiling, walking Hyoudou. After leaving the office, most of the students looked at Issei nervously. It seems you've attracted a lot of attention, Hyoudou, said the brunette, surprised. Helping the untouchable queen even a little brought you some fame. Great, what I needed, said the brunette, sighing and scratching the back of his neck. And by the way, where can I see that girl, Sadalizer Albrigid? No way. The brunette said, putting on a look that showed fear. What are you thinking, Hyoudou? Huh? Said the brown-haired boy, confused. Your actions will surely be remembered. Not only did you put her on her lap and admire her cleavage, even if you are a knight or even the leader of these, she will not forgive you, said the nervous brunette. What are you talking about? The brown-haired man said, confused and uncomfortable. I'll explain who she is in the academy, said the brunette looking at him. Sadlizer is the untouchable queen, no one can say or do anything to her, she is also the strongest of the second years and the best in all kinds of things, and she has the nickname. The Heartless Queen, she was a problematic student from the east, it is said that she killed Pandoras and limiters for being near her. Is this woman exaggerating or what? The brunette said, somewhat surprised, while he heard laughter in the background. Don't you dare approach her, and you not only helped her win something that hurts her pride, said the brunette hysterically, I give you some good advice young man Aoi, go back to where you were transferred. There was silence for a few seconds. But I just arrived said the brown-haired man with a drop on his neck. Health comes first said Chestnut. But this an explosion which was almost next to them, broke one of the walls of the building, revealing Sadlizer Elbridget. It's here. Said the scared brunette. Everyone started running after seeing her arrive, and just a few meters away from Sadlizer was the redeed with two pigtails Ganessa Roland. What do you want Ganessa Roland? The blonde asked, looking at her seriously. Be quiet Elbridget said the redeed, you received help from that freak and by pure luck you won, but now that that brat is gone, it's impossible for you to beat me, so I want a rematch. That won't matter Ganessa Roland said the serious blonde the results have already been exposed and it's impossible for them to change, even if you defeat me here. That will change if I show them that you cheated, they will reconsider, said the redeed smiling chains of binding. Saying that she makes her chains appear on her back and throws them at Sadlizer, who comes from the sky, managing to dodge them without any problem. You won't be able to and now you'll fall defeated. And with that you'll know that you're a loser. Shouted the redeed throwing her chains again, but even with that Sadlizer dodged them without any problem which annoyed her and threw them head on die. 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 Die Sadlizer Elbridget. She threw the 4 chains that the girl had, but all of them were stopped by the blonde's weapon, which left her in shock since she couldn't believe it. Oh? And this? The redeed said, surprised, only to receive a direct attack that left her with several cuts and bruises. Always the same I feel sorry for Roland, said the brunette chiffon behind one of the windows looking at everything. Bridgel Sadlizer said the redeed getting up exhausted if this is how it goes, I'll break the rules. It can't be will he do that? Said the brunette surprised. Pandora mode the redeed shouted as her body began to glow. Stop this Roland. The Pandora function can only be used in real combat. Chiffon shouted. You can't use it without permission. What's happening now for me is a real battle. The redeed shouted, creating a huge air current with such force that it sends Sadlizer against a wall, falling next to Issei and Chiffon. Sadlizer-san, are you okay? Asked the brunette looking at her. She looked to her left side, crossing glances with Issei, causing her to blush and quickly turn around, walking away nervously. And your weapon? Asked the brunette. But that I quickly turned to look at them. What do you think you're doing? Watch your back. Shouted the brunette but it was too late and Sadlizer was caught by Ganessa's chains damn. And your weapon? I'm not finished yet, who do you think you are? The redeed said in Pandora mode. Haha. Get ready. Enough of this Roland. Chiffon shouted but she ignored him. What exactly is Pandora mode? Asked the brunette. Pandora modes are the true strength of battle armor, an armor specially designed to destroy novas as well as demons and fallen angels, said the brunette seriously those armors still can't be used without knowing the side effects, so stop Roland. I'll be done when I destroy this cum and only pieces of his body remain. Roland shouted, tightening the chains against Sadlizer's body, causing him to let out a scream of pain and his blood to splatter everywhere, what about it? Are you giving up already? If not, your body will turn into dog food I'm stronger than you. You can't beat me now. Sadlizer's body was almost inert with his clothes torn and blood oozing from every part of his body. Ahahaha victory. I beat you, Sadlizer. The redeed shouted with excitement the Pandora function is amazing. This way, no one can beat me. And to finish it wouldn't be bad at all to tear off your arm. You better stop Ganessa Roland the brunette shouted, approaching the redeed. You've already won, so you better stop. You are the one who helped Sadlizer said the furious redeed who do you think you are to order me around? Saying that Ganessa hits Issei in the face causing him to spit out a little blood but even with it he didn't look too affected although that for some reason made Sadlizer angry, creating a large gust of air which made everyone back down except Issei who looked at her with a smile. And now I can't believe it said the surprised redeed you too can activate the Pandora function. In front of Ganessa Roland was Sadlizer Elbridget wearing crimson armor with some green parts and the sword was attached to her left arm and turned gold. It seems that my perverted old grandfather gave my model to Sadlizer Elbridget. This got interesting, said the brunette wiping the blood from his mouth, maybe that's why he acts so interesting. Fury of a dragon and a Pandora. A few meters away from Hyoudou Issei, you could see that blonde-haired girl named Sadlizer Elbridget wearing a crimson armor called Pandora mode, showing no emotion and saying no words. Sadlizer Elbridget. The Redeed shouted, trying to throw herself at the blonde. In just a second Sadlizer Elbridget was more than 2 meters behind the blonde whose armor broke as well as her chains, leaving the Redeed in shock. "My Nova weapon," said the Redeed in shock at what had happened to her. "The old man gave that armor more power than I thought," said the brown-haired man surprised. "You will pay for this," said the Redeed trying to get up, but couldn't due to the damage to her body from just one hit. "I will not accept this defeat." Sadlizer. When the blonde Sadlizer was about to approach her, 2 women prevented them from approaching her. "Sadlizer Elbridget, we can't let your actions pass," said the brown-haired woman with short hair and a good body using an ajanata. "Your model is unknown, Sadlizer, and that doesn't mean you can use it as you wish," said the green-haired woman with a smaller body and using 2 small swords seriously, "and we are worried that the students may use some without permission and which may cause unknown damage to their bodies, so deactivate Pandora mode right now." "Are you okay, Hyoudou Issei?" asked the brunette chiffon approaching Issei, who didn't show any wounds. "Yes," said the brunette, still staring at the blonde who had made the armor disappear. "They're instructors, aren't they? But who are they?" "These are numbers," said the brunette chiffon smiling. "They are 4 of the women who helped in the 8th War 4 years ago and left the army to become instructors at West Genetics." Issei looked closely at the 2 women as he showed a serious look. "Physics teacher and instructor Yumi Kim chiffon said, pointing at the brunette. Issei looked at her carefully as he thought he remembered her from somewhere. "And medical officer Li Schmid chiffon said, pointing at the red-haired girl. "Why do the numbers look familiar to me?" the brunette said, feeling a headache, holding it with his left hand. "Nissan." Right now Issei was in front of his room, which was number 302, which he entered and immediately lay down on the bed. Sadlizer Elbridget, she has one of the prototypes created by the old man," said the brown-haired man using a tablet which contained information about the girl. "Apparently the Black Knight's current owner is unconfirmed, the White Knight's is with her millimeters. Well, at least I know mine is in good hands." Saying that, Issei turns off the tablet and leaves it on the dresser. "Tomorrow I will talk to her, maybe something interesting will happen," said the brown-haired man looking at the roof. "Maybe I will be a little surprised by what Sadlizer Elbridget can do." Elsewhere in the academy in the 3rd-year dorms. "Show me that new guy who was defended by the famous Sadlizer Elbridget," said a woman with short dark blue hair as she was only in underwear and a blonde boy was massaging her shoulders. "She is very famous among the 2nd and 1st years, as well as some 3rd years, and that she defends a new guy is strange." "Here's a picture," said one of the 3 boys in the room. "Handsome for some reason, very handsome," said the blue-haired girl smiling. "I'm going to make sure this limiter is for my Miyabi Kanazuki. I'm going to eat him with kisses." The next day Hyoudou Issei was performing in front of his new group. "My name is Hyoudou Issei, nice to meet you," said the brunette making a slight bow, while some murmurs were heard from the girls in the group. After the first class was over. "My name is Keiho Hiragi and I am the class president," said an orange-haired girl smiling. "Nice to meet you," said the brown-haired boy looking at her. "You're Japanese, aren't you?" "It's very noticeable," said the orange-haired girl, smiling. "By the way, you were involved in the fight Sadlizer senpai had with the one who beat her. I think her name was Ganessa senpai. I think you should stay away from them." "I see," said the brown-haired man without the slightest importance. "I'm sorry, but I'll go talk to someone." "Don't talk to her," said the orange-haired girl stopping him as she showed nervousness as well as fear. "Don't even think about it, just don't." "I'm okay," said the brown-haired man, completely confused by what was happening. After class it was time to go to the dining halls. "Wow, they have all kinds of food, Korean, Chinese, French, even Japanese," said the brunette looking at everything there was to turn around to see how there was a large number of people at the counter ordering like they were crowded millimeters. As she said that, someone approached a group of students huddled together, and as soon as one of them saw the person, everyone separated, leaving a path for the person to pass, which was none other than Sadlizer Elbridget. "It's time," said the brunette approaching the blonde who was about to leave as she already had her order wait. When he said that, Issei took the blonde's left arm and when she turned around she blushed and broke free from the brunette's grip and ran away. Everyone was completely surprised by the attitude the blonde took, since no one knew why she had acted that way. On the roof of one of the academy buildings, the blonde Sadlizer Elbridget could be seen sitting against the wall, about to eat what she had ordered, which was a hamburger. "Here you are," said the brown-haired man, appearing at his side, placing one of his knees on the ground and bending the other. "I want to talk to you." He received no response from the girl. "When you activated Pandora mode, it wasn't just to protect me, but for something else, or was I wrong?" the brunette asked, looking at her. "Yes, because you also tried to help me even when you didn't have to," said the blonde without looking at him, "and that's the reason why I tried to help you." "You know you are so different from the rumors I've heard about you," said the brown-haired man smiling. "I ask him why everyone believes that about you." Well, that's all, even if it's just that, people don't seem to believe me, said the blonde hugging her knees. I asked why I can't understand it. Maybe this will bring me problems in the future, but what does it matter, said the brown-haired boy smiling. I want to be your limiter Sadalizer Albridget. Huh? The blonde said with a blush and confusion. What? A baptism in a place like that? A woman behind them said. Well, since we're here, why not a souvenir photo? Issei looked at the girl who was a blue-haired girl with short hair and a good body. Was it a secret between you? Are you old friends or something? The blue-haired woman asked, smiling. We're in a public place. At least you should be more discreet about it, since after all, it's quite important, right? When she said that, Sadalizer stood up to walk away. Sadalizer, said the brown-haired man, watching her leave to get up. Wait, the blue-haired girl said, not looking at her. Since you're from a lower class, don't you greet someone from a higher class? That's rude, you know. When she said that, Sadalizer just turned around and leaned very slightly to turn away. Sadalizer, wait, said the brunette, trying to follow her, but is stopped by the blue-haired girl's hand. I would like you to stay a little longer, and now I would like you to be my limiter, said the blue-haired woman, smiling, and I will not accept no for an answer. Are you forcing me? The brunette asked seriously. It's quite simple, you will become my Itoto, naturally you will have a wonderful life here at the academy, said the blue-haired woman, smiling, and of course the answer is yes, right? I'm sorry, said the brunette seriously, but I'm going to decline the offer, but still, thanks for offering me that, but I'm not interested in being your limiter, and from what I see, you already have 4, so if you'll allow me. When he was about to leave, he was stopped by the blue-haired girl's hand, which prevented him from moving forward. You dare to reject me and you think you'll get away with it? Said the blue-haired girl, showing a gloomy face that didn't faze the brunette. But she felt a sharp edge near her neck, being that it was from Sadalizer Albridget. If you dare to lay a finger on him, you'll regret it, said the blonde, taking off her glasses with a serious look. Will I regret it? I think someone's underestimating me, the blue-haired woman said, smiling. When he said that, in an instant Sadalizer ended up on the ground, creating a small crater as he spat out blood. I think I should teach you a lesson for trying to be above me, said the blue-haired girl with a smile, making some daggers appear floating. I'll show you the difference between a second year and me, a third year. But that Sadalizer stood up and they launched themselves at each other, creating shock waves. How can I make you tremble with my Sadalizer Albridget skills, said the blue-haired woman, smiling, throwing her daggers. Take this. With little difficulty Sadalizer managed to deflect all the daggers. Ha! It's not bad, but it's not enough, the blue-haired woman said, smiling. Well, then, how about we test your speed? When she said that, the blue-haired girl was behind Sadalizer in just a fraction of a second. Is that the Axel they're talking about? The brunette said in his mind. A speed of 0.5 Mach isn't bad at all. When the blue-haired girl was going to hit Sadalizer, she disappeared and appeared behind her to try to hit her, but she barely managed to dodge Sadalizer's attack. Can you make an Axel too? The blue-haired girl shouted in surprise. With that, both girls launched themselves against each other again, leaving small pieces of debris as they passed. The 3 boys who were following the blue-haired girl couldn't see the battle, but Issei managed to follow her perfectly and without any kind of problem, quickly moving his eyes from one side to the other. I'm surprised you can do something as high level as Axel. The blue-haired girl shouted with a euphoric smile. Being a second year, you shouldn't know that. You are, as the rumors say, Sadalizer Albridget. Both of them launched themselves against each other again, but in doing so Sadalizer Albridget cuts the blue-haired girl's cheek a little, which screams upon seeing her cheek cut, something that confused Issei as Sadalizer, but that scream turned into a laugh, something that made Sadalizer serious. Exciting. It's really exciting. The blue-haired girl shouted with a laugh. I was thinking of just punishing you, but it seems that won't be enough. No, it won't be. I'm going to kill you, you little second-grade wretch. I'll let you taste all the humiliation and shame there is in this world. When she said that, the 3 boys who were following her stood behind her, as well as putting on a rather sinister face, something that confused Issei. The rainbow set. The blue-haired girl shouted as her eyes took on a different shape for a few seconds, just as the 3 boys showed a serious look. The rainbow set. Don't tell me she can do it with 3 guys at once. Sadalizer said in her surprised mind. Catch her. Ordered the blue-haired girl, and the 3 boys headed towards where Sadalizer was. Maybe that's it, said the brown-haired boy, somewhat confused, but at the same time he assumed what was going to happen. Freezing maximum power, the 3 shouted at once. From the ground several green lines began to emerge as the gravity of the place began to increase. Since you don't have a limiter, it's your end. You have no idea of the capacity of a Pandora outside of the carnival. You don't have a limiter that can freeze an area, you have no chance. When she said that, Sadalizer jumped, determined to get away. Impossible. You can't jump that high inside an area with freezing. The blue-haired girl said in shock, watching what Sadalizer was doing. Okay, now we can escape, said Sadalizer, about to leave but looking sideways at Issei, seeing that he was standing as if the freezing wouldn't affect him, which confused her. When she did that, 2 daggers pierced her arm and shoulders, making her fall. Sadalizer, said the serious brown-haired man. Complete freezing, said the black-haired boy following the blue-haired girl. We caught her, Miyabi-senpai. You forgot about the fight to look at a cute rookie. Do you underestimate me? Said the blue-haired girl, smiling. Bring her and don't let her go. When she said that, they started dragging her by the hair, something that made Issei furious. What do you think of my freezing, Sadalizer? Unlike a nova, demons, or fallen, it can immobilize a human target for a long time, the blue-haired woman said with a smile. Since you can't move now, I'll get rid of my rainbow set, but in a real battle, that's against the rules, lifting it. When she said that, one of her limiters grabbed her from behind and lifted her up. First of all, tell me something. How will you pay for the scratch on my face? The blue-haired girl said, hitting her in the stomach. Huh? But the force of the blow, Sadalizer spat out some blood and started coughing a few seconds later. Will my limiters hold you? You won't be able to move. Now repeat after me. Words can't express how sorry I am for attacking you, Miyabi-senpai, said the blue-haired girl, licking her lips, while she had one of her daggers near the blonde's neck. I won't accept any apology that isn't this sincere. Let him go, please, said Sadalizer without looking at her. When Sadalizer said that, Miyabi cut off the front of his alpha uniform, which already made the brown-haired man furious. You better stop, you son of a bitch. The brunette said angrily. Oh, really? I should punish him too, said the blue-haired girl, smiling. When he said that, one of his limiters began to repeatedly hit Issei, who didn't flinch. Now that I see it, you have nice breasts, a great size, a good shape. It's true that you hate people touching you, don't you? He said with a smile. Do it. When she said that, the guy behind her started massaging them, and after a few seconds he kicked her. Enough. The brunette shouted furiously, causing his hair to turn blue and his pupils to shrink, easily destroying the freezing and simultaneously creating one that paralyzed Miyabi and her limiters. What? Said the blue-haired Miyabi, surprised, as if she didn't know what was happening. I told you to stop, said the brown-haired boy, hitting the black-haired boy, making him fall from the roof, being followed by the other 2. One was slammed against the floor and another was stuck to the wall of the place, being a few centimeters from the blue-haired girl. They neutralized our freezing, even I'm frozen. The blue-haired girl said in her mind, nervous and scared. Does that boy have that much power? But how? If I don't activate the rainbow, how can he use freezing? Unbeknownst to her, Sadalizer had stood up, showing a look full of anger, and activated Pandora mode, which made Miyabi tremble. After a few minutes, as well as what happened, it was announced to the teachers and the student council president, who were shocked by what they saw. Miyabi Kanzaki was on the ground with Sadalizer's Nova blood weapon on her chest, as well as beaten to death, as well as 2 of the woman's 3 limiters, with almost all her bones broken, and without knowing the whereabouts of the 3rd limiter. The teachers and the president, along with the vice president, were trembling, completely surprised by what they had seen, especially when they saw a red gauntlet on the brunette's left arm, which made the teachers serious. Recognition before the world. It had already been a few hours after that incident where Kanazuki Miyabi had to be quickly taken to the emergency room because she was on the verge of death due to the amount of damage she received from Sadalizer. Bridget was about to be expelled, but… What do you mean you don't want us to expel Sadalizer Bridget after what she did? The principal asked. It was my fault that this happened, said the brown-haired boy seriously. Miyabi tried to turn me into her limiter, but when I rejected her, she tried to hurt me, to which Sadalizer tried to defend me, and one thing led to another. I understand, but you still don't have any clear reason for Sadalizer not to receive his punishment, said the director seriously. So, said the brown-haired man, placing his left hand on the desk to make a crimson gauntlet appear. That's the boosted gear, the director said in surprise. And not only that, said the brown-haired boy, making his hair turn a strong shade of blue and his face take on another shape and skin tone. That hair color, said the director, surprised. That's right, my name is not Hyoudou Issei, my name is Aoi Kazuya, said the now serious blue-haired man, grandson of Aoi Gengo, the scientist who created the Pandoras as well as discovered the existence of supernatural beings. So you are not only the leader of the Dragon Knights, but you are also the grandson of Gengo and the Sekiryuutei, said the director, surprised. That's right, but keep calling me Hyoudou Issei, said Kazuya, turning his brown hair back again. No one should know that. I understand, said the director, but how are we going to hide the incident that Sadalizer Bridget created? It's easy, there will be a presentation where you will see the power of the Dragon Knights, as well as the Pandoras will see that they are not the only ones capable of defeating the Nova and the supernatural beings, said the brown-haired man with a slight smile. So you're going to take care of what Bridget did? The headmistress asked. That's right, I'll take responsibility for what she's done as long as they forget that incident, said the brunette seriously. She'll be under my protection, so if anything happens, or if anyone tries to do anything to her, she'll have to deal with me. Are you sure about this, Hyoudou Issei? The director asked one last time. Absolutely, the brunette said, smiling, since let's just say the old man gave Sadalizer something special, so maybe she's the one. Very well, then in 3 hours your presentation will be made, and a replica of Nova will be brought along with several clones created from demons and fallen angels that we managed to capture, which reach high class and power levels, and with which the destructive power that the leader of the Dragon Knights has will be seen, said the director smiling, so I expect a lot from you, young Issei. Don't worry, director, said the brown-haired man walking to the entrance, this won't be a problem. You are very confident, young Issei, said the director seriously. I'm not, director, said the brown-haired man, making a crimson dragon appear on his back. I have a mission, and that is to finish off the demons and fallen angels, since they took away one of my most important things. And that would be it? Asked the director. That would already be revealing too many things about my past, said the brunette seriously, and I don't want to do that. I came here to show all the Pandoras not to trust their powers, as well as something that my grandfather asked me to do, but I won't say it yet. Saying that, Issei leaves the place. Well, one less problem, said the brown-haired man sighing. Hey lazy dragon, wake up already, damn it. Now what do you want, Kizaya, said a voice coming from the brown-haired man's left arm. Now the director will give us a presentation of what I am, so it will be something good, said the brown-haired man looking out a window, and perhaps that way what the old man asked me will be closer to being fulfilled. Are you talking about that, asked the dragon. That's right, said the brown-haired man sighing. He sent me to military training as soon as he found out I was the Sekiryuutei, and although my sister had opposed it, she also discovered that I had a sacred gear inside me, and one that I will never forget. So you don't think you'll forget that event, asked the dragon once again. No, I will not forget how they were the ones who caused her death, said the brunette seriously, clenching his fists. That's why I trained even harder and obtained those powers, just to finish off the one who killed my sister. Is it just revenge, then, asked the dragon one last time. No, it's not just revenge, the brunette said seriously. This is my duty, and I will finish them all off for what they've done to us, just as I will fulfill the promise I made to the old man. Ha, that stupid promise, which with me is a piece of cake, huh, said the dragon laughing. You know I'll do it, said the brown-haired boy smiling. Besides, the white one already has a partner, and I don't even have a dog that barks at me yet. Maybe you're a little wrong, Kizaya, said the dragon, letting out a laugh, the loudest he ever let out. I wish he was sealed a few millennia ago. Don't forget that blonde and the other one you have at home. Sadalizer. Yeah, she's a very good candidate, and don't remind me of that, said the brown-haired man looking away with a drop on the back of his neck. You know that the old man forced that since he wants me to be with a Japanese woman, and since she was the closest as well as the one I get along best with, he came up with a great idea of Draig. I don't want to remember that stupid thing the old man did. I know your grandfather is a crazy guy, but well, she has the potential to use the armor, so if the old man sent it for her in particular, there must be only one reason, said the dragon. I know, said the brown-haired man sighing, but well, that doesn't matter anymore, now I have to prepare for the presentation. After a few hours in a stadium where Pandoras were training, where they fought against replicas of Novas and clones of fallen angels, it could be seen that it was completely full of Pandoras and limiters who were waiting to see what they were called for, since they could see the copy of Nova and the clones of fallen angels and demons. Among those who were there, 2 retids and a blonde, both from the 3rd year, stood out, as they were beauties. How long will it take? Asked a retid with loose hair and blue-green eyes. Come on, Ingrid, it hasn't even been 4 minutes since we all got here, said the blonde with dark blue eyes, relaxed. Elizabeth is right, so calm down, Ingrid, said the other retid with a ponytail and amber eyes, relaxed. We will soon see the reason why they called us all. Arnett, why are you so relaxed? Asked the retid named Ingrid Bernstein. Why would she be tense or upset? Said the retid with a ponytail named Arnett McMillan. Something of great importance is going to happen, since it's rare that they summon both the Pandoras and limiters. Arnett is right, so just take a short break, said the dark blue-eyed blonde named Elizabeth Mabley. I understand, said the retid with blue-green eyes, looking at Sadalizer L. Bridget, who was standing at a certain distance, but I still won't leave her unpunished. You can do whatever you want, Ingrid, but don't get impatient and just wait for this to start as well as end, said the relaxed blonde. A little over a minute after that, they could see how a helicopter got to a kilometer high, confusing everyone, since they could see through a screen that a brown-haired boy, more exactly Issei, was going to jump from the helicopter, surprising all the Pandoras, believing that he was a suicide since for them, no man could defeat a Nova, along with demons and fallen angels, but they were wrong. After only a few seconds Issei jumped without a parachute or anything, leaving everyone present in shock. With that the screens turned off and a crimson glow appeared in the sky, confusing everyone to see how the nova shot towards that point, but boost X tent transfer. It was heard throughout the place, leaving those present with a great deal of doubt as they could see a new glow, this time green, appearing in the sky. Cannons mode, shouted the brown-haired man who had a crimson armor, making a backpack appear on his back, as well as 2 cannons on his shoulders, which emitted a large amount of energy, while he fell headfirst. Target located, Dragon Destroyer. When he said that, a large laser impacted against the Nova's attack, quickly taking the advantage and piercing it from the core, destroying it completely to fall to the ground on its feet without its cannons, being surrounded by the clones of the demons and fallen angels. Everyone attack, ordered one of the demons and fallen angels, causing everyone to launch all kinds of magic, as well as spears of light, creating a huge explosion. It seems that boy lost, said the Redeed with blue-green eyes. Ingrid, you are wrong, said the Redeed with amber eyes. Seriously, look closely. When he said that, everyone along with Ingrid Bernstein could see how Issei was several meters behind the clones of supernatural beings, and everyone was surprised, including Satellaizer Elbrigid, by Issei's abilities. That won't work, Akumas and Detentious, said the brown-haired man, seriously, showing a crimson armor which was very light, as well as having lengthened its golden parts of the elbows. So come for me, idiots. In fury, they all launched attacks again, but slow down, said the brown-haired man, taking a step and appearing next to those controlling the group, just as his golden parts were covered in blood dye. When he said that, the 2 fallen angel and demon fell to the ground with a deep cut on their neck, from which a large amount of blood flowed. Outspeed force mode, said the brown-haired man, seriously, making his armor a little thicker, but without exaggerating. Now you continue, fighter mode. When he said that, his armor increased in thickness exaggeratedly, now being at least 3 times thicker than its original size and having exaggeratedly large gauntlets. Kill him, said all the demons and fallen angels, launching themselves against Issei, who hit the ground with such force that he raised walls of earth, which were impacted by the demons and fallen angels, which increased the fury of these clones. Damn human. It's the end, said the brown-haired man, enlarging his gauntlets. Explosive fist. When he said that, he hit them all with such force that he destroyed their internal organs, as well as broke all their bones, as if an explosion had occurred inside them, killing them all instantly. The presentation is over, said the brown-haired man, returning his armor to normal, as well as making his helmet disappear, and also making a large pair of dragon wings appear, leaving them even more surprised, so he let out a sigh. Well, that's all. With that, the director of the academy appeared on the big screen. Pandoras and limiters, what you just saw is the power of a Dragon Knight, more specifically the leader of the Dragon Knights, the Sekiryuutei Hyoudou Issei, said the director, making everyone look in surprise at the brown-haired man who just yawned while ignoring the majority and looked specifically at 3 specific girls, Ingrid Bernstein, Arnett Macmillan and Elizabeth Mabley, who looked seriously at the brown-haired man, who only let out a slight smile to look at the director. This is the power of those who possess the highest level sacred gear called Longinus, in which yours possesses the soul of the celestial dragon, the Sekiryuutei. Does anyone have any words to say? Nobody said anything, but only one person stood up from her seat, Ingrid Bernstein being the person who stood up. Director, I want to ask for something, said the Redeed with blue-green eyes. What is Ingrid Bernstein-san? Asked the director, looking at her through the screen. To have a battle against the Sekiryuutei and see their abilities for myself, said the Redeed with blue-green eyes. So I understand it will be with your limiter like any battle against Nova? Asked the director. That's right, and I want him to be with a Pandora too, said the serious Redeed. That will be difficult, since although he also came to be a limiter, he doesn't have a partner yet, said the director. Then let someone do the baptism with him, said the Redeed seriously, and I propose that Satellaizer Elbrigid be his partner. If that's what you want, that's fine, said the brown-haired boy, smiling. By the way, Satellaizer, I won't force you to do the baptism yet, and as Miyabi-senpai said, it will be in a better place. When he said that, for some reason Satellaizer had blushed and lowered, showing a serious look towards Ingrid Bernstein. Do you want to let us win this battle? The Redeed asked seriously as her limiter arrived. Leo is my partner as well as limiter, and having our limiter by our side makes it easier to win, so I won't be gentle. It doesn't matter, said the brown-haired man seriously, it won't be a problem. Okay, said the Redeed, then Leo. Hi senpai, said the boy. The rainbow set. The Redeed shouted. Freezing, shouted the boy named Leo. But that a green light came out of the ground, increasing the gravity of the terrain. The good freezing better than Miyabi's limiters, but said the brown-haired boy, smiling, you still don't know why I refused to do it even after baptizing it with Satellaizer. What? No, that's impossible, said the Redeed, assuming what the brunette was trying to say. That's right, I can also use it without anyone's help, said the brown-haired man, smiling. Freezing. When he said that, the boy Leo's freezing had disappeared without any difficulty and the gravity of Ingrid and her limiter increased. "Sadlizer, I leave everything to you since she's coming for you," said the serious brunette. "I understand," said the serious blonde, making her sword appear. "Let's start, senpai." While at the academy airport, a helicopter could be seen arriving, which opened its rear door revealing a blonde man. "Very well, Kizaya has arrived," said the blonde smiling knight. Black Dragon Saji Genshiro introduces himself. The arrival of a new dragon knight. Hyoudou Issei along with Sadlizer Elbridget were facing one of the strongest Pandoras of the West Genetics Academy, whose name was Ingrid Bernstein, as well as her limiter named Leo. Both girls, both Sadlizer and Ingrid, launched themselves at each other, clashing their swords, with Ingrid taking a slight advantage at times, but this quickly disappeared when she felt Hyoudou Issei's freezing increase slightly, bothering her. "The first one I'll beat will be you," said the Redeed, launching herself at Issei to try to defeat him with a blow, but he quickly stops the blows with both hands and throws him toward Sadlizer, who kicks him, burying her in the ground. "Ga. Ingrid senpai." Leo boy shouted, worried about her. "Stay back, Leo," said the Redeed seriously as she stood up. "I myself will defeat Sadlizer and Hyoudou Issei, no matter who they are." "You know what's best is to give up right now," said the serious brunette. "In your dream," said the Redeed seriously. "I will never give up and let people like you destroy this tranquility in West Genetics." "Peace, a woman who goes around wanting to have every guy she sees as her servant, is that what you call peace?" "Please," the brunette said seriously, "what she needs is discipline, and you top brass should give it to her, but you won't, since you only decide to attack those of lower ranks with potential of your rank." Ingrid didn't say anything because she knew that in a certain way he was right. "Sadlizer, come," said the brunette looking at the blonde who approached him. "You yourself will defeat Ingrid Bernstein." "Huh?" the blonde said, confused, approaching the brunette. "I'm going to transfer power to you," said the brown-haired man, taking her by the shoulder with his left hand, making the boost resonate a few times. Exactly 4, as well as a transfer. With this, the girl was surrounded by a crimson aura as well as she began to feel her power increase in an exaggerated way, being that Issei deactivates his armor and moves away a little. Defeat her in 5 Sadlizer hits at most. "Oh okay," said the blonde, somewhat confused but accepted, and quickly approached the Redeed, appearing in front of her in a second, surprising herself with her increased speed and also surprising her. "Was that just an axle?" the Redeed said in surprise, only to quickly receive a cut on her chest, causing her to fall to the ground as she slowly lost blood. "This is over," said the blonde, sighing. But without her expecting anything, Ingrid got up and threw herself at Sadlizer to be knocked down by the brunette, and he put his left hand on the left side of her neck, as well as bringing his face closer to hers, making her blush without knowing the reason, and everyone being surprised by the speed at which she was knocked down. "This is over, Ingrid Bernstein," the brunette said seriously, "so admit defeat before I get serious and defeat you easier than she did." Fine," said the Redeed, blushing as well as nervous. "I give up." "That pleases me," said the brunette, smiling, making her blush even more. But that said, victory was given to Issei and Sadlizer, but while far from the place you could see that blonde named Saji Genshiro, who was walking trying to find the direction without much success. "Great, where could it be?" the blonde wondered, scratching the back of his head as he looked around, and where the hell is everyone? No matter how much he walked, he didn't see any student or teacher in the entire academy, which confused him quite a bit because of this. A few meters away from where Saji was, a girl with dark blue hair and 2 pigtails, gray eyes, and a good body was arriving, as well as having some kind of tattoo below her left eye, who was wearing an unusual outfit for the place where they were. "Where have they all gone, Diramasu?" said the blue-haired girl, confused to look at a certain blonde from a distance. "Ah, he must know where everyone is, Diramasu." "Ah, what does it matter? I'll see where that idiot Kizaya is myself," said the blonde, annoyed, expelling a light layer of his power, which was between purple and black. "This feeling," said the blue-haired girl as 6 metallic parts on her back began to shine slightly, as well as a certain feeling of warmth reached her body. "That boy made me." Concentrating, he finds the energy of a certain brunette to smile instantly. "So here you are, damn Kizaya, so here I go, idiot." "Wait." Before moving, he listens to a girl talking to him. "Is something wrong?" the blonde asked, turning to see the blue-haired girl, who blushed slightly. "You're my destiny," exclaimed the blue-haired girl. "What about me?" the blonde said, completely confused. "You are my destiny since my Kunlun tears reacted to you, Diramasu," said the blue-haired girl, smiling. Okay, I am your destined," yeah, said the blonde without knowing what to say exactly. "And what do I have to do?" "Being my destined means that you will be my partner forever," said the blue-haired woman, smiling. "You are my soulmate, Diramasu." Wow, calm down," said the blonde nervously. "You're a very beautiful girl, and I won't deny it, but we haven't even been together for 5 minutes, and you already want to be a couple. That's exaggerated, but at least tell me your name." "I call him Saji Genshiro." Mine is Longinus Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl with grey eyes smiling by the way Saji-kun. Yes? The blonde asked, looking at her. Do you know where everyone is? Or where the girls' dorms are? I've been looking for that for a while, and I haven't found it Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl. Where are they all? I think I know where they are, said the blonde, and I'll go see a friend who's been here for a while. If you want we'll go, and if we see someone let them tell you where the dorms are. So let's go, Saji-kun, said the blue-haired girl, hugging him by the arm. What the hell have I gotten myself into by coming to this academy? The blonde wondered in his mind. After a few minutes Kazuya Aoi was looking at the sky above the male dorms. Why do you want me to go to your room, Satellaizer? The brunette wondered, looking at the sky and letting out a light laugh. I doubt that's why. I don't see her as that kind of easy girl, but then what would that be for? Kazuya. What? The brunette said, looking down and seeing a certain blonde man he knew. Saji. You arrived sooner than I thought. Yes, I know, but you know how the old man is, he says one thing and then does another, said the blonde, sighing that old man will never change. I understand you, remember that I am his grandson, said the brown-haired man with a slight smile, jumping and landing naturally a few meters close to him. And by the way, who is that girl? Well, she is, said the blonde nervously, to be interrupted by the girl. My name is Longinus Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl smiling, and Saji-kun is my destined Diramasu. Come here, said the brunette, pulling him away from the blue-haired girl. Let's see what this means, Saji. How long have you known each other? Well, like 10 minutes, said the blonde, laughing nervously. When I used a little of my power to find out where you were, she came and told me all that, and I don't know why, she still stuck to me a lot. Looking at the blue-haired girl, you know, I'm being honest. Staying with her will make you a great couple, so you won't be single anymore. And this is said by someone who doesn't have a partner yet, said the blonde, looking away. The closest thing to that is your cousin. Shut up and you're safe, said the brown-haired man, covering his mouth with his right hand. Remember, that's because of that old bastard. Yeah, since he wants you to have your harem and blah blah, the blonde said, sighing. And have you met someone who's with you? Or are you still a bachelor, apart from that one? I actually met a girl, and let's just say the old man already gave her my version of armor, said the brown-haired man, looking at him, and yes, you could say I noticed her. I understand, said the blonde, understanding, so she will be your partner once you tell her whether you love her or not. It's very possible that I'll tell him that, said the brown-haired man, looking at the sky. Besides, today he asked me to go to his room. Then she's wearing protection, you know they're still studying, and she's a Pandora, said the blonde in a mocking tone. Do you really want me to hit you so many times that instead of having a face you'll have my bruise marks? Said the brunette, looking at him, making him nervous. Come on, it was a joke, said the nervous blonde. It's not that bad, Kazuya. And why don't you take Lana on a date and make her fall in love with you, but don't let your hormones get the better of you. She's here to fight, not to have your offspring, or well, not yet, said the brunette, taking him by the shoulder with his left hand to separate them and go in the direction of the second-year girls' dormitory where Satellaizer will be. Saji-kun, you never asked to know where the girls' dormitory was, the blue-haired girl said, sighing. Shit, I forgot Lana, let's go before she leaves us. Said the blonde, running, but without realizing due to how hasty he was he collided with another black-haired girl. Sorry, I didn't notice. The black-haired girl moaned. Huh? Said the blonde to see that his right hand was on the brunette's right breast, blushing deeply before quickly moving away. Goman. Then it doesn't matter, said the blushing brunette. By the way, who are you? Asked the blonde, still blushing. My name is Titaisi Fennel, said the blushing brunette, looking away. Sasaji Genshuru, said the nervous blonde, and Gamenesai didn't mean to touch one of your breasts, it was a complete accident. Then it doesn't matter, said the blushing brunette. I'm leaving. The brunette quickly gets up and runs away at great speed. Saji-kun, you're a womanizer, aren't you? Said the blue-haired girl with annoyance. I'm not, it was a damn accident. The blonde shouted to the four winds. But Issei, who just arrived at the room of the girl Satellaizer Elbrigid, as well as knocked on the door to see the girl wearing a red dress, which made her more beautiful than before, causing a slight blush to appear on the face of the Sekiryuutei. Hyoudou Issei. Welcome Hyoudou Issei, said the blonde, blushing and shy, letting the brunette pass. Just call me Issei, Satellaizer, said the brown-haired man, entering and closing the door. Why could you come to me, Satellaizer? Well, said the nervous blonde. Satellaizer, said the brown-haired man, taking her by both shoulders, surprising her. You shouldn't force yourself to do anything. I like you a lot, but I see that you have a certain fear of men, also from what I heard, so I'm not going to force you to do things you don't want to do. Not knowing what to say, she blushes at the brown-haired boy's words. Issei. Slowly, both of them bring their lips closer to kiss, with some shyness on the part of Satellaizer and affection on the part of the brown-haired boy, while the blonde slowly hugs his neck with some fear, while Kazuya hugs her waist. Relationships and a future battle. Desire Aoi was passionately kissing the blonde Sadalizer Elbridget, who reciprocated the kiss with some shyness, ending it on the bed, and after a little more than a minute they both separated, revealing a blush on the blonde's face and great agitation, as it was her first kiss, and it had been with the person to whom she was feeling a strong romantic attraction. Sadalizer, I'm not going to force you into anything, said the brunette, caressing the blonde's cheek, who looked into his eyes, so I'll only do it with you once you're ready for it. Thanks Issei, said the blonde, getting on his chest, being hugged by the brown-haired boy, making a slight smile form on his face, being followed by him closing his eyes and sleeping. Breast Sadalizer, said the brown-haired man, smiling while stroking his hair to close his eyes and sleep. The next day Lana Lynchen as well as Saji Genshiro had started their first day at West Genetics as second and first year students respectively, in which Lana quickly found out how to turn someone into their limiter, and with that, at the end of classes with a smile, she went in search of the one who, as soon as she arrived, she began to love because according to her, they were united by destiny or something like that. So Volley got to that point with her, huh? Said the brunette, drinking a can of soda. That's right, said the blonde, looking at the sky lying on the roof. That idiot who only wanted to fight already marked that girl he saved. So Himejima is now your wife, huh? Said the brunette with a slight smile. Well, at least he's now a man by right. Now all that's left is for him to declare his love, although that's asking too much, haha, said the blonde, laughing. And how's it going with you and Lana, huh? Asked the brunette, looking at the blonde. Did she already explain to you well why she chose you? According to her, her Kunlun tears or something like that were activated with me, I think, said the blonde, confused. I still don't understand Lana too much, but I think that's how people are where she comes from. She comes from Tibet, right? Asked the brown-haired man, looking at him. That's right, said the blonde, looking at him, but even with it I know little about her, but I would like to know everything about Lana so I can relate better to her if I ever formally go out with Lana. I see, said the brown-haired boy, finishing the soda to burn the can and leaving liquid aluminum with which he began to create something. And what's your thing with the Sadalizer Elbridget? Asked the blonde, looking at him. I moved forward with her, but I didn't make her mine, said the brown-haired man without looking at him. And you told him about your engagement? The blonde asked, causing Kazuya to stop what he was doing and the liquid to fall. I don't want to talk about it, and you know it, said the brown-haired man with his eyes covered by his hair. That was something the old man arranged for, you know what. Yeah, so your genes could be passed on to the next generation and make them stronger, blah 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 blah, the blonde sighed, but getting to that point is a bit of a stretch, right? I mean, she's your. Don't remind me, Saji, said the brown-haired man, sighing. That was her decision, and she accepted that. I can't do anything anymore, I have to accept that, and well, at least she's not a crazy yandere or a bitch that I got engaged to. You're right about that, said the nervous blonde. Better with her than messing with that kind of girls. They both imagined being with a yandere, and a strong chill ran through their bodies. If it's better than a yandere, they both said nervously, 1,000 times better. Saji-kun. Lana. Said the blonde, to be hugged by the girl. Lana Lynchen, what's wrong? Let's do the baptism, Saji-kun, said the blue-haired girl with a smile. Amedo, I don't know how to do it, said the blonde nervously because he didn't know how to do that. I'm doing some research and there are multiple ways to do it, said the blue-haired woman, smiling. Many take the simplest, but I want one that I like, Diramasu. Okay, said the confused blonde, accepting. Let's go then, Lana. See you, Edo. What's your name, Diramasu? Said the blue-haired girl without knowing the brunette's name. Issei, Hyoudou Issei, said the brown-haired boy, looking at the blue-haired girl. Nice to meet you, Lana Lynchen. Saji already told me a little about you, and take care of that idiot. Hi, I will, Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl, smiling while dragging the blonde boy. See you, Hyoudou Issei-kun. Hey, wait, Lana. Said the blonde, being dragged by the blue-haired girl without knowing what was waiting for her in a moment. I think someone will receive a gift, said the brunette with a slight laugh. I hope you protect your first girlfriend well, Saji. But the blonde and the blue-haired girl, being that she took him to her bedroom. At Lana, what are we doing in your bedroom? The blonde asked, somewhat nervously. They told me that baptism is something very special, Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl, smiling. And I see, said the nervous blonde, so what do I do? See me, Saji-kun, said the blue-haired girl, undressing. Eh? Said the blonde, exalted and blushing as he saw how Lana was starting to undress. What are you doing, Lana? We'll do the baptism, Saji Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl with a smile. Wasn't there another way? Asked the nervous blonde. There are others, but I want to do this form only with you, Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl, approaching the blonde to take his hand and place it on her left breast. I want to always be with you, Saji-kun. Yes, really? Said the nervous blonde. Why, you know, and I'm a good dragon, pop heart dragon, because I carry the sacred gear of Vitria, and in T that's why I'm going to mark you if we do it. That doesn't bother me at all, Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl, smiling. I would be very happy to be by your side forever, Saji-kun. Are you sure? The blonde asked one last time. Of course Aji-kun, said the blue-haired girl smiling, since I love you very much Diramasu. Without saying anything Saji kisses the blue-haired girl, who reciprocates the kiss, followed by massaging the blue-haired girl's breasts. Lana. Saji-kun, the blue-haired girl moans. Lana, I love you, said the blonde, laying the blue-haired girl on the bed to look into her eyes, and I will make you my first woman, Lana-chan. Uesaji, said the blue-haired girl smiling. For several hours, faint moans were heard, something that made all the girls in the dormitory uncomfortable. The next day Sadalizer was watching as Lana Lynchen was sleeping in the middle of a class, something that everyone noticed and only a few knew why. As the hours passed and classes ended, Lana was about to leave, but was interrupted by the blonde Sadalizer. Hey Lana, I want to talk to you, said the blonde, taking her shoulder. What's up Sadalizer Diramasu? Asked the blue-haired girl, turning to look at her. Why were you sleeping through almost half of all the classes? The blonde asked, looking at her. And that's because you're interested in Diramasu? The blue-haired girl asked with some seriousness. Well, I heard from Issei that now his partner and friend Genshiro Saji is your limiter, said the blonde seriously. Did you perhaps do one of the different ways of doing the baptism, and I mean that one? And if I made her what Diramasu? The blue-haired girl asked, looking at her. It's our freedom to do the baptism the way we want, and I wanted to do it when I joined Saji-kun. He did YUH have Hex? Said the blonde, blushing and nervous. That's right, I had Hex with Saji-kun, said the blue-haired girl with a smile. It was one of the best things I've ever felt in my entire life, although it hurts at first, but you get used to it quickly. You should do it too, Sadalizer. And I couldn't do that now, said the blonde, completely red. You're too shy, Sadalizer, said the blue-haired woman, shaking her head. If you continue like this, do you know that someone could come and steal you? Nobody stole it from me, Lana Lynchen, said the serious blonde. You know that being part dragon they can have multiple partners, right? Asked the blue-haired girl, to which Sadalizer was surprised. I can see that by that expression. You didn't know, Saji told me, they will have several partners, and I can see that Hyoudou Issei will have several. What are you talking about? The blonde said, looking at her. I heard that he must have a harem, but I didn't hear the reason, said the blue-haired girl, confused, but from what I could hear it's something that he doesn't like to a certain extent, and it seems that he does it somewhat out of obligation. I see, said the blonde without knowing what to say. Sadalizer L. Bridget, we want to talk to you. When they heard that, both Sadalizer and Lana turned to look at the door, where they could see a white-haired brunette and a white-haired loli, the first two having a very good body, something that the third did not. The three were third-year Pandoras, as well as Miyabi and Ingrid Bernstein. For some reason, Sadalizer and Lana looked at them seriously, as if they wanted to take their partner away from them, something they wouldn't allow. Battle of Pandoras and Declaration. Right now Sadalizer L. Bridget and Lana Lynchen were in the training room for Pandoras, where both looked at Arnett Macmillan and Cleo Brand, both third-year students, and the fourth as fifth strongest of the same, which Arnett looked at with a smile and Cleo with seriousness. What do you want? Asked the blonde Sadalizer seriously. That's easy, Sadalizer L. Bridget, and that is that you stay away from Night Crimson and your Lana Lynchen, and also from Night Black, said the little white-haired girl with pigtails in the shape of drills. You two are not worthy of being with them as your limiters, unless as couples. Don't think you scare me, Diramasu, said the blue-haired girl seriously. I won't get away from Saji-kun, he is my destiny and my boyfriend. If you do that, then Cleo and Arnett decide who you're going to fight with, said the little white-haired girl, smiling to separate herself a little. You'll regret not respecting your elders. But you look like a high school girl, Diramasu, said Lana, tilting her head. You are very short. Those words made the younger white-haired girl angry. Kill them. The white-haired loli shouted furiously. I'll go against the new Lana Lynchen, Cleo said, making some metal gloves appear. She could be a good opponent for me. Then I'll go against Oju-sama, Arnett said jokingly, looking at Sadalizer to pull out a side. Are you ready? Then let's go. When she said that, she appeared behind Sadalizer, causing her to move away, but she crashes into someone who was none other than Arnett, who had gotten behind Sadalizer in an instant. You're slow, said the retard, smiling. He said to make his weapon appear and try to stab her, but before arriving, he feels a great pain in his back, since he had received a cut from the retard when. Slow, said Arnett to try to attack her head-on with his scythe, but Sadalizer quickly dodges, receiving another one from Arnett. Very slow, untouchable queen. Lana watched as Sadalizer could do almost nothing. Don't ignore me, said the brunette Cleo seriously to hit her in the stomach with great force, but Lana manages to withstand it and take Cleo by the arm. What? Then I wouldn't be able to see Saji-kun's face if I lose against you, Diramasu, said Lana, smiling while a thread of blood came out of the corner of her lips. And if I'm his girlfriend, I must be stronger than you. Saying that, Lana makes her volt weapon appear, which were metal gloves and boots, and then she hits Cleo with great force in the face, making her retreat a few meters. You have something that motivates you to improve, but said Kuoh to make 2 copies of herself appear it is not enough. What? Lana said in surprise, receiving a massive beating from the 3 Kuohs at high speed. 3 of her? The Saddleizer who had made her volt weapon hit Arnett's. Not bad for a second year said the Retard smiling, but you're lacking. Saddleizer without saying anything quickly kicks Arnett in the face, who steps back a little to launch herself at Saddleizer and wants to cut her, but before she could, she disappears. Where is he? Saddleizer asked herself, calming herself down a bit and kicking back, only to be stopped by Arnett's arm, whose side was just millimeters away from Saddleizer's neck. Not bad, Saddleizer said the Retard smiling surprised by the blonde's quick reflex, but will it be enough? I won't lose to you he said, looking back, separating himself slightly from Arnett to punch the air, being stopped by the grip of the side. I've figured it out. What? The Retard said, surprised, as was the white-haired girl. How did you know I was there? I'm not going to lose to anyone, Saddleizer said seriously as crimson energy flowed out of his body. But Kuoh who was still giving Lana a great beating, who tried as best she could to stop the attacks, but it was almost impossible, and she could only stop half of them to receive a kick that sent her crashing against one of the walls. We are done said the serious brunette surrendering to Lana Lynchen. I won't do it Lana said as she got off the wall, her arms and legs shaking. I'll never give up. Then it's your end said the brunette as she tried to hit Lana with her clones, but the 3 fists were stopped and she received a strong blow to the stomach. What? I will never give up so that someone like you can stay with my Saji-kun, Lana said seriously as black energy came out of her body. I will never give up or kneel against anyone ever again said Saddleizer, as she remembered how as the daughter of Howard L. Bridget's lover, her father was hated by his wife or stepmother and was mistreated by her younger stepbrother, she could not do anything because her mother was sick and if she did something her stepmother could kick them out. But once her mother died she left home and decided to become a Pandora to be stronger and now want to be Issei's girlfriend. I will never be weak again. While up in one of the roof windows, Kazuya and Saji watched the 4 women fight. Hey, are you sure they're okay? Saji asked, a little worried, but not for Lana, but for Kuoh. Who could now be seriously hurt, judging by the looks of things. They might break a couple of bones, but they won't kill them, said the brunette seriously Saji is now. I thought you were never going to ask for it, said the blonde smiling to make a dragon-shaped head appear in his left hand Vitria, it's time you took it away from Lana. And you also take it from Kizunaddraig said the brown-haired boy seriously, making his gauntlet appear. But that a glow both green and purple came out of the 2 sacred gear of the boys, and with it the power of both girls increased. What's this? Arnett said, shielding himself with his arms from the energy wave that was shooting out of Saddleizer. They increased their power Kuoh said, doing the same. Still not enough said the Retard, throwing herself at Saddleizer so that she would disappear before she arrived. Start double axle. In an instant Saddleizer appeared behind her and kicked her hard and Arnett tried to stop her with his scythe, but it was useless and his volt weapon was completely destroyed. What? Surprised she looked at Saddleizer who had a pair of dragon wings. Just as her pupils were torn impossible. What's wrong with Saddleizer L. Bridget? Kuoh wondered, turning quickly and seeing Lana, who had already 5 of them. Impossible quadruple tempest turn, not even number 1 can do that. Don't look away. Lana exclaimed as several black snakes with golden lines and purple aura came out of her arms and her clones you're going to lose senpai Diramasu. Lana exclaimed, throwing herself at Kuoh to hit her repeatedly, while the snakes bit her body, quickly draining her energy and making her increasingly weaker. Now. Lana exclaimed appearing in front of Kuoh surrounding her burning Fang X5. But that word, he and his clones hit Kuoh, who vomits blood and falls unconscious. It's your end said Saddleizer, disappearing. Where are you? Arnett exclaimed, looking around to see her behind him. There you are. Saying that he throws himself at her but before he can reach her in a second, he receives cuts from all sides, causing him to fall, since he could not stand due to his semi-mortal wounds. When? Arnett wondered, finally unconscious from blood loss. Impossible Arnett and Kuoh lost, said the white-haired girl trembling. Both Saddleizer and Lana looked seriously at the last one left who got scared and as she walked backwards, she tripped and fell on her butt. Then don't stay away from me, said the white-haired girl scared. Don't appear in front of us again or try to take my Issei Saji-kun away, they both said with a look full of seriousness and an aura that would make anyone tremble. She just nodded, trembling with fear, so that Saddleizer and Lana would lose that transformation and leave the place, leaving her alone with the other 2 unconscious. In the end, if they used that armor just once, the dragon part began to dominate them and their powers grew, said the brown-haired boy, looking at how the 2 third years were left. Hey Saji, both of you could die and I doubt your friend will help you, she is traumatized by what she saw. There's no other choice and I don't want Lana to be expelled after only a couple of days at school, said the blonde sighing. Let's walk and take them to the medical center for Pandora's. With that, they both went down from the roof and Issei carried Arnett and Saji carried Cleo to walk out the door while she was still in a state of shock and would take a while to come out. Outside the place you could see Chiffon who had watched all of that. You've already created a hybrid based on your own grandson, Django, the brunette said, showing seriousness. Do you really think you're going down the right path? Or are you going down the same path as the angels and fallen demons? The next day Lana did not want to leave Saji's side at any time, even when he went to the bathroom, something that made him quite uncomfortable. It also happened with Sadalizer, although it didn't reach a high level compared to Lana, something that didn't bother Issei. Right now the brunette and the blonde were on the roof while they both ate Sadalizer's favorite food, hamburgers. Sadalizer said, the brunette looking at the blonde. Yes? She asked, looking at him. You've been very attached to me and quite overprotective, said Issei without stopping looking at her. I don't know why, but I don't want anyone else to get close to you, said the blushing blonde looking away. I want you all to myself, but Lana Lynchen already explained to me that being what you are it's impossible for that to happen. A harem? I understand, the brunette said, closing his eyes. I wouldn't want to have a harem, but it's my destiny to have one, being a dragon. But at least I can have you to myself for as long as possible before and after that, right? Sadalizer timidly asked, looking at Issei. You can't, said the brown-haired man smiling, but before that Sadalizer. Why yes? Asked the nervous blonde. Do you want to be my girlfriend? The brunette asked, taking her hand. Why yes, I want to be your girlfriend, said the blonde, shedding tears of happiness. I'm glad to hear that answer, said the brunette with a smile as he took her chin and kissed her with passion and love. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.